What if I told you there's a Mercedes so tough that many people genuinely believed it could outlive its owner? A car that crossed deserts, worked as a taxi for decades, survived hundreds of thousands of miles, and helped create Mercedes-Benz's legendary reputation for durability. Yet despite all of that, it rarely gets the attention given to the W123 or the famous S-Class models, which is strange because without this car, Mercedes might never have earned its reputation for building cars that simply refuse to die. This is the story of the Mercedes W115, the car that proved Mercedes was built differently. But here's the interesting part. Its greatest achievement wasn't luxury, it wasn't performance, it was something much harder to engineer: trust. Mercedes had a problem to solve. By the late 1960s, Mercedes-Benz was already respected around the world, but competition was growing. Customers wanted modern cars, more comfort, more safety, better efficiency. Mercedes needed a car that could appeal to families, business owners, and professionals alike. The result arrived in 1968. The W114 and W115 series. Today, enthusiasts often call them simply the Stroke 8 models, a nickname inspired by the /8 designation Mercedes used to identify the generation. At first glance, it looked elegant, simple, timeless, but beneath the styling was something much more important. Mercedes engineers were obsessed with one goal: building a car that would last. Not 5 years, not 10 years, but potentially decades. And what happened next surprised even Mercedes themselves. Over-engineered before it was fashionable. Today, manufacturers talk constantly about quality. But the W115 came from an era when engineers often had enormous freedom, and Mercedes engineers used that freedom. Every component seemed designed with longevity in mind: heavy-duty mechanical parts, robust suspension, strong body construction, reliable engines. The philosophy was simple: build it properly the first time. Owners immediately noticed the difference. Doors closed with authority. The car felt solid, substantial, almost indestructible. In many ways, the W115 didn't feel like a product. It felt like a machine built for a purpose, and that purpose was surviving almost anything its owner could throw at it. But there was one version that would become especially famous, a version that changed the car's reputation forever. The diesel that changed everything. If there's one reason the W115 became legendary, it's the diesel models, particularly the 200D, 220D, and 240D. Now here's the funny thing. These cars weren't fast, not even remotely. Modern family hatchbacks would leave them behind without effort, yet customers couldn't get enough of them. Why? Because they just kept going, and going, and going. The diesel engines developed a reputation for reliability that bordered on mythical. Taxi operators loved them, fleet owners loved them, drivers trusted them. The cars became famous for starting every morning, regardless of weather, mileage, or age. Stories spread across continents. Cars covering enormous distances, engines running for decades, owners passing them from one generation to the next. Some stories became legends. Others were absolutely true. Either way, the W115 was becoming something special, not just transportation, a symbol of dependability, the record that shocked the world. Then Mercedes decided to prove what its diesel technology could do, and the result was extraordinary. In 1976, specially prepared diesel-powered W115 models were taken to the high-speed test track at Nardo in Italy. The goal? Push the cars to their limits, day and night. For thousands upon thousands of miles, the cars ran continuously, breaking records, demonstrating incredible endurance, showing the world that diesel engines weren't just economical, they could also be remarkably durable. The achievement generated headlines, and it reinforced what owners already believed. These cars were built differently. Mercedes wasn't just making claims, they were proving them. And every record strengthened the legend. Why are they still on the road? Here's perhaps the most impressive thing about the W115. Many are still working today. Think about that. More than half a century after production began, many examples continue to drive, commute, tour, and attend classic car events around the world. That doesn't happen by accident. It happens when engineering, durability, and simplicity come together perfectly. Modern cars may offer more power, more technology, more comfort. But very few have earned the kind of respect the W115 enjoys. Because reliability isn't something you can advertise into existence. It has to be earned. And the W115 earned it 1 mile at a time. The Mercedes W115 wasn't designed to become a legend. It wasn't built to chase headlines. And it certainly wasn't trying to impress future collectors. It simply focused on doing its job better than almost anything else on the road, providing dependable transportation, year after year, decade after decade, and perhaps that's why people still admire it today, because the W115 represents an era when durability wasn't a marketing slogan. It was a design philosophy. The Mercedes W115 wasn't just another classic Mercedes. It was the foundation of a reputation that would define the brand for generations. And there you have it. The Mercedes W115, a car that didn't become legendary because of speed or luxury. It became legendary because people trusted it. Day after day, year after year, decade after decade. Now I'd love to hear your thoughts. Have you ever owned or driven a Mercedes W115? And do you think cars like this will ever be built again? Let me know down in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to Car Passion for more stories about the machines that shaped automotive history. We've got plenty more legendary classics coming your way, so don't miss the next one. Until then, keep your passion alive, keep those engines running, and I'll see you in the next video. This is Car Passion signing off.